Well, hello, internet land. Greetings and hello. I think my mic's on. Yep, it is. I did it. 6th time. 2nd time in a row. Just as we go live. Hello. How's everybody doing? My players, Jacob, Dylan, Cody, Nick. You guys doing good? Happy Monday.
Awesome.
Happy Monday. Good way to start the week.
Exactly.
Yeah, feel it.
I agree. Did you guys have a good Star Wars weekend? Do anything Star Wars related or Cinco de Mayo even?
I was out of town, but I was able to catch a few minutes of Episode 9, easily the worst film of the entire franchise, while I was at a bar. And then they turned off the projector and had New Hope on a tiny TV behind the bar, so I couldn't watch anything. But, I mean, I've seen those films 10,000 times. It doesn't matter if I watch it on any day. Every day is Star Wars Day for me. So
that's fair. Sure. I was in the theater yesterday. I saw Tarot, which I have opinions about. But when I was walking to that theater, I walked past the theater playing the Phantom Menace, and all I heard was Obi-Wan screaming, and I'm like, Qui-Gon died.
Spoiler for those who
hasn't seen a 20-year-old movie.
You're way behind the times. Yeah. Nice.
Did you guys hear? Sorry, the guy who played Theoden in Lord of the Rings passed away.
Yeah,
I saw that.
Did see that. That was very unfortunate.
Sure is. Rip.
R.I.P. in peace.
Yeah.
Last ride of the Rohirrim.
Mm-hmm.
Dang.
I did nothing Star Wars related this weekend at all, to be completely honest. There we go. Now I was playing with my audio recording stuff just now because it was not functioning correctly. So thanks, Audacity. But
they were just about to sponsor us.
Well,
I doubt
you
it.
can still sponsor us. Just fix your shit.
The free software.
Yeah, exactly. No, I didn't do anything Star Wars related this weekend. It was mine and my partner's birthday weekend. So that was what it was primarily focused on.
Today's your actual birthday, so happy fucking birthday.
Yes.
Today is my actual birthday.
Happy birthday.
And I am choosing to spend it here with y'all at 11 p.m. So you're welcome.
We love you. And here's an oboe.
Oh, thank you.
Oh,
we
congrats.
love you too. And by we, I mean me.
Royal we.
All of you.
Exactly. All of you.
Oh, yeah. What's up, Chris? Chris rated us just now. What's up, Raiders?
Oh, nice.
HSV in the house. And Nick does have a sweet tattoo. Look at that thing. You can see part of it. There you go. It's an angry wolf.
That's Mount Rainier, my local mountain.
Oh, nice.
Oh, hey, yeah.
Nice.
Wish I had a cool tattoo.
I got one tattoo.
I got 2 tattoos.
It's
I'm not going to show you mine.
Oh, yeah. That's for Death Dreams After Hours.
Exactly. It's on my leg. I'm not getting up.
Oh, well. That's a little less fun.
You don't want to do
My
the cat
third
thing
leg.
that's just like,
Oh,
right? They just
Lift
the
that
lightning
strap.
bolt.
straight up, yeah.
Do it. I know you can. You're flexible, right?
Oh, that? No, I just already bonked the mic. Again.
Damn it. I gotta edit that.
Well, that
out.
one
that
you
one
can
out.
blame Robert for.
Yeah, you said to do it.
All right. What's up, knuckleheads? You guys ready to get into our little thing? I'm gonna skip the intro.
Hell yeah.
Just
Yep,
go
I
right
feel
to the recap.
Cool.
Let's do it. Let's live by the die and die by the die.
Die by the
shall we?
die.
Eventually we'll say it in sync at some point.
I died.
I gotta come up with a better prop, to be honest. But
You went really.
There
All
was
we
no
get is
prompts.
let's,
You were like,
and
live by
then
the
you
die.
jump right into it. Like, it's not like, are you guys all ready to do the thing?
I
It's
mean, my
zero
Audacity
intro.
wasn't working. Telepathy has never worked.
it
unfortunately.
changes every episode, every recording
Yeah.
too. So I don't fucking know. Yeah, let's jump into the recap. So last time, I'll go over the last few sessions too, just to catch everybody up who's joining us for the first time. Sif, and Bertrand, Sif played by Jacob, Bertrand played by Dylan, met two waylaid travelers, Fen and Fairdeer. Fen played by Cody, Fairdeer played by Nick, who were stranded there because of a storm. They witnessed a dying man, poisoned and diseased, brought to them by Elder Jehoiada. Elder Ordwe asked them to accompany her to investigate the death and mediate a decades-long cold feud with the sister city of Iron Harbor. During their journey, they survived an ambush from a Darrow woman and her pet centipedes. On the way, they met an architect turned squatter by the name of Darrell in abandoned mansions near Iron Harbor. He offered them treasure, in quotes, left over from his estranged employers, the nobleman Valdemar, in exchange for an escort and residency in Osprey Cove. As they neared Iron Harbor, they were stopped by an imposing armored woman who questioned them aggressively but softened slightly as Elder Ordwe reported their task. The woman, now known as Sister Vanda, asked Ordwe to accompany her alone to Stoneholm and visit with Lord Ragnulf to speak about the future of the Kindred Coast, while the rest of the party stayed in town. Sensing something was off, Elder Ordwe asked the group to gather information from the townsfolk while she was chaperoned to Stoneholm by Sister Vanda. Left to their own devices, they started with a place called Elsie's, a building with a bright red roof that clashes against the coastal tones of Iron Harbor. There was a mixed bag of offerings, pastries, breads, and strange alchemical concoctions, and curious curios. The place comes off as eclectic and chaotic. A few local patrons find themselves enjoying the scene regardless, as Elsie is friendly yet subtly insulting to the group. Between her, Jim Pipe, an elderly couple, and the shipwright Berger, the group is able to glean that since the Thessalonian merchant vessel... That was loud. I think we got another follower.
Oh,
Oh, Chris gave us a subscription.
Oh,
Thank
nice.
you.
hey, thank
Appreciate
you for the
that.
subscription.
Heyo.
Yeah,
Thanks for
yeah,
the sub,
dude.
man.
That is Mia El Chivo from Hidden Stream Valley Discord community that Big Red, aka Nick, invited us to earlier last month. So, hell yeah. It's been awesome being part of that group. It's all good, man. I forgot where I was.
You were about to say, you paused on the Swordfish is the name of the ship.
Yes.
And I thought you were waiting for us to fill in the blank, but
No. The merchant vessel, known as the Swordfish, docked a week ago. The Gormites haven't been seen since. The merchant noble, the captain, a small entourage, and a chest of goods made their way from the vessel to Stoneholm and was rumored to have a remarkable trade agreement to make with Lord Ragnulf. The remaining crew of the Swordfish were rumored to grow restless, as they haven't left the vessel since they arrived, and have gone from quietly fishing off the sides of the boat to insulting locals under their breath as they pass by. All this, and it seems some of the merchants' folk made their way to Thunderhead Isle to set up camp by Rusthenge. Darrell and others confirm seeing strange lights amid the fog there a few nights ago. After gathering all this information and finding staying anywhere in Iron Harbor too expensive, they decided to take up Darrell's offer to stay with him amid the rubble and unfinished construction of the 3 mansions on the perimeter of Iron Harbor. We'll start there, as you guys were all kind of just getting ready to bed down and camp for the night. It was kind of a quaint scene as you all began to get to know Darrell a little bit better and his situation. It seemed that he had been left in the lurch by the Valdemars, the nobleman known as Valdemar, Fairdeer's client. So however you guys feel about that is to be seen, but let's just say everybody's still kind of around the small campfire inside the center building that's got the most walls around it, and Darrell has like a small, very simple bench nearby and a bedroll laid out. You all are kind of either hanging by the campfire or meandering around the outskirts of this collection of buildings. Let's talk about what everybody's doing.
Well, I know that, just before, Sif pulled out the bedroll, kind of along with everybody else, that I had given a visiting Steve
Oh,
to
that's right,
Daryl in the form of some carved chalk. And I talked to him about Stoneholm. And he's the one that told us that the cliffs are actually a viable way to access that building, and he quested us, or requested us to specifically Sif to draw the inside of Stoneholm, as he had never been in there, and he's an architect and was very interested in the structure. So I've just promised him that, on top of also when we return, should we return to Osprey Cove, that will take him. But after chatting with him, I would have gone and kind of laid out my bedroll and just kind of begin to relax and try to, I don't think I'm ready to quite go to sleep, but relax and just kind of take in the surroundings and listen to any further conversations. But I know I can see the musings of my companions where they seem to be a little bit more restless and, determined to find out things here.
Okay.
Does anybody want to go?
Put you on the spot.
Well, I think Faradir would be warming his hands by the fire. Oh, it's gonna be a cold one tonight, as he warms his hands. And I think he would have a bit of conversation, but then people would turn around and see that he actually went to bed pretty early.
Fair enough.
Old
Just
man.
old man things. That's how I feel today. But
You're 30.
I'm 30.
Yeah, welcome.
I'm basically dead. But
Felt that way for a long time.
All downhill from here.
It doesn't get better.
yeah.
Just everybody shut up. It's fine. I'm almost
It's totally fine. I'm just,
Shut the fuck up.
Totally fine.
life goes on.
It'd be like that sometimes. So yeah, I think Fen is going to be doing his, as we established, godly calisthenics before the ocean, in order to offer prayers to Gazra for essentially safety through the night, since they're kind of close to the sea and everything there.
Are you doing it out on the cliff?
Yes, I am actually a little bit away from y'all right now. I am roughly here. I can't ping for some reason, but
See your little cursor. There it is.
Hey.
yeah, someone did it there for me.
I got you.
Because it was not working for me. So yeah, I'm somewhere over yonder, offering that up to Gazra.
I think Bertrand would continue to talk to Steve throughout the evening until he's ready to go to bed, just kind of keeping an eye on everything, just perceiving for whatever. Nothing. He's not really looking for anything specific unless there's some kind of out of the ordinary thing that would trigger more curiosity about the treasure that he is supposedly nicked from the Valdemars. So if he sees a closet door ajar or something, he wouldn't really be leaving to go investigate. And then as the night winds down, I think that he would like to keep an eye out over, I almost said Stonehenge again, over Rusthenge, and to see if he can see the lights
May as well
that
be.
everyone has talked about,
Mhm.
as long as it's clear enough. And he might stay up a little later than normal. I don't know that we need to establish a watch, but he would want to take first watch and just
Faradir will be up before the sun comes out. He could probably do the morning watch. Or last watch, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know if Sif and Fen would want to take a shift just to be safe.
I would probably take I'd probably take the middle. Sif is very curious, like he's super skeptical, but Darrow's talked about ghosts, and just on the off chance that he's not lying about it, Sif absolutely wants to catch catch a view of these, these ectoplasmic entities.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Remind me, was Bertrand taking first watch, or kind of not decided on that yet?
I think he would take first. He's probably kind of restless, knowing he just wants to see these lights. For whatever reason, these lights have kind of captured his imagination, and he wants to really know that that's a thing and see what people have been talking about. So I don't think he could settle down right away. He would want to climb up a staircase and look off through an open window if that's something that would be allowed. Get a higher vantage point.
That's fair.
So these buildings are at a cliff. So amid all the fog and the night, you can, if you go towards the edge of the cliff, you can definitely see the lights of Iron Harbor just off to the east. When night does fall, Daryl can kind of see and sense your anxiousness, and he'll approach you, Bertrand, and say, "Is everything all right, friend?"
Yeah, I've heard so much about these lights. I'm quite anxious to see them hovering above us. Stonehenge, Jesus, man. Hovering above Rusthenge. So I'll be honest, I'm a little on edge for that, to see that.
Yeah,
Quite excited. So
definitely, almost every night since the Thathalonians arrived.
oh, so it is after they've arrived.
It's been almost every night. You can barely see it. There's no exact time of night, but it's here. There's just about as soon as night falls. And if you forget what old Daryl looks like, let's see if I can find his picture. Here we go. Here's our man. There's Daryl. Old Daryl.
There's that handsome devil.
I think Bertrand would kind of clap him on the shoulder and just say, "Thanks for the reminder." Not too hard, just like a nice pat, like showing human compassion.
Yes. Well, it is very nice having company other than all the Steves. Somebody I can actually have a conversation with.
The ghosts, right?
Ah, yes, the ghosts. They howl and cause a clatter almost every night. I recommend switching rooms about every hour or two, to be honest. And he kind of gives you a wink.
All right.
I'm gonna hit the hay. If you need anything, I'll try to be a good host and provide whatever I can.
No worries. I'll be up for a little while. I'm sure I'll see you switching rooms here shortly.
And he heads off to a corner of one of the mansion's unfinished buildings.
I would like to have Bertrand keep an eye out or an ear out for that area to see if he might hear a ghost. But I do think that he might move a little bit closer if he could to hear if there was anything going on there, and then still be looking out.
Sure.
He's not really doing a good job of watching the camp. He's mostly just staying up looking out over the ocean, I guess.
Yeah, that's fine.
I don't think he would do that the whole shift, though. I think he would grow restless. If the lights don't come soon enough, he would probably get bored and go back down by where the camp would be,
Sure.
where everyone was actually sleeping.
I'll say that maybe as soon as, like, maybe within 20 minutes of duskfall, you do see a very faint light.
Oh, shit.
Almost looks like a pinprick, based on how far it is away from where you guys are.
Okay.
Just near Rusthenge there.
How high in the sky does it look like it is? Like
It
10
looks like
feet
it's-
off the island?
It looks like it's coming off of the land, like if somebody were to have a campfire or something.
Oh. Oh. I thought this was like some type of
UFO
metaphysical. Yeah.
Lights.
I guess my own imagination, Dylan's imagination really ran with that one.
I mean, it is strange.
Honestly,
Okay.
I was thinking the same thing though.
Yeah, I thought it was like mystical, like ooh type of shit. But
The
okay.
Northern Lights, but bad.
Exactly, yeah. They're all like blood red instead of green and blue and pretty.
The color of rust.
Yeah, there, yeah.
So Bertram's
Color of Stonehenge.
taking the first watch. Was anybody joining him? I think I missed that.
I think probably Fen would still be up at this point.
Okay.
So he's not fully on watch duty per se, but he is still awake and aware of what is going on.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, as soon as dusk falls, it's relatively quiet, save for the wind, and you can kind of hear like a faint as the wind kind of moves through the unfinished buildings here at Gold's Ruin. Which is,
Excuse me.
as yeah, as you guys kind of get to know this cliffside a little bit better. The locals call this Gold's Ruin because the Valdemars threw gold at it, and they're all ruins now. So, name befitting the place. Who's on second watch? Anybody taking second?
Sif.
Sif was. Okay, perfect. Yeah, your guys' watch kind of ends without anything exciting happening. The lights that are on Thunderhead Isle seem to be stoked and kept on. Whatever fire is happening on Rusthenge is still burning. Barely make it out off in the distance with the fog, but do see light emanating from there.
Having their own version of Electric Forest.
Yeah, I think as we change watches, and I hear about the lights, and just a brief moment as I'm looking out with you guys, I'm like, well, that's just disappointing, right? I thought it was going to be like lights in the sky, and different colors. And it's a bonfire.
Agreed. Well, I guess the townsfolk here have never seen a fire.
It's strange to them because nobody goes there. It's weird.
True. But they could have said, like, there's a fire out on the isle.
Strange lights.
Regardless, we know
Yeah.
we need to go out there and check out whatever that light happens to be, whether it be a fire or something else.
Well, we can decide at the morning. Oh, but before you rest, you probably would have said something. Did you hear any of these ghosts?
You know, I've not. I've heard a little bit of Faraday passing wind, as it were, but or the wind through the key, or I don't know, through the keyhole. There's a Dark Tower
That's
book.
what they're calling it these days.
Yeah.
The wind through the unfinished houses.
That wind specifically, Gosra does not bless.
But now I don't believe I've heard anything. Daryl stayed in the same room the whole night so far. He might wake up screaming here any minute.
Well, we'll find out. So, get some rest. We'll see if any excitement comes. And I'll just kind of pull out my notebook and kind of sit in that view where I can see the island and start kind of like jotting down notes and just sketching and busying myself while kind of casually like looking around. I don't feel threatened, so I'm not on high alert.
Yeah, Bertrand gives you a pat and says, "Thanks, Mike. Just wake us up if you need anything."
Will do.
Walks off.
Okay.
Falls asleep immediately.
That's a superpower.
I do not possess that power.
I
I
do.
wish.
So, Sif, your watch, it goes by rather quiet. Nothing seems to be bumping in the night. You do hear howling, and it seems like it is just the wind moving through and caressing these ruins of the unfinished buildings here on top
Caressing
of the
the
cliffside.
ruins. I like it.
Yeah, just faint howling. You might hear Daryl kind of tossing and kind of moaning in his sleep.
Poor guy.
Yeah, he's had a rough year or two at least. Well, who knows how long? A few years since his employers left him here, abandoned him here, essentially. It's kind of, maybe you feel a certain way about it, but you can tell the way the folks in Iron Harbor spoke about him as if he was an outcast and had treated him as such. Being a gnome, maybe you feel a certain way about that also. But
Yeah, I think
the night goes by kind of without issue.
I think before Faraday wakes and kind of finishes out the watches, I'll make sure to sneak over to what I think Darrow put the Steves up in the windowsill.
He did, yes. Got a collection of his Steves.
So I'm gonna take one of the scones that was incredibly dry and I couldn't finish because it just sucked all the moisture out of my mouth. I'm gonna kind of cut it so it looks actually square, so it doesn't look like I just took a bite out of it, and then kind of put it up on the windowsill, and as an offering of sorts, I guess. And then I'll go over and kind of observe Faraday for a second. I don't know if he's awake or not, but I'll just give him a tap. Faraday.
Do you have a burn permit? Huh?
A burn permit.
Sorry, I smelled a fire.
Well, I mean, it's smoldering. It's
He's
your
a cop
watch.
and a lawyer.
I'll just tap you on the shoulder and then walk back to my bedroll.
I imagine when it's Faraday's turn, it would still be like dark out, like twilight hours, and he would like to take a look around.
Doing the snoops.
Okay.
Oh, I'm gone now.
I know. I scrolled up. I was about to look at my skills, and then it went away.
Oh, sorry.
Come back.
So you're taking a look around the perimeter of the mansions?
In the inside of the mansion, this
Inside.
particular building. Yeah, he
Okay,
wants
so
to
this
scope
is-
out the interior of the building.
So this is the center building here. Oops.
The
Come here,
tawny
mouse.
houses.
Just so you can kind of get an idea of a better idea. So these are the three unfinished buildings. The center one seems to be the most finished out of the three. It's empty. It doesn't even have flooring. It's still dirt on the bottom. All that there is walls, empty window frames, no doors either, and it's roofed. It's the only building that has a complete roof on top, which is probably why Daryl picked this spot as the place to squat and live. There's no,
Well,
you don't see any. You might turn the corner and find where he uses the restroom, and then turn immediately the other direction. But there's nothing very exciting happening here. It's got like a clothesline hung from one building to the other. Not much else really.
I think he would just keep poking around and until he heard somebody else get up, or just I feel like he's looking for evidence, really.
Sure.
Something that he could use against Daryl, or perhaps something that might assist the group.
Okay. As you're walking around the camp, you walk by where Daryl's sleeping, and he's kind of tossing and turning, sleeping comfortably on just this flat bedroll on the ground. Probably the flattest area in this little mansion. And as he's turning, you see he's got like this thin rope across his neck, and then like this key kind of tied to it. It's kind of just hanging there on his chest. You're probably like 10 feet away as you're walking past, but he turns. It's the smoldering firelight. You see the shine of the key, and it catches your eye.
Is it loosely hanging?
It's tied to a thin string on his neck. I wouldn't say it's loose. It's kind of just rested upon his chest.
I do have telekinetic hand.
You would think it's a ghost.
Sure. Could replace the key with a Steve. He'll never know.
God damn it.
Key
I
Steve.
think him seeing the key is going to make him look for what the key goes in. He knows where he can get the key if he needs to. Could probably make that happen. But what it goes to is what he really wants to know. So I think he'll keep snooping around.
Okay. The night continues on, and the sun begins to creep over the horizon. And you think it's about time to wake everybody else up.
Oh, yeah, Faradir would quietly wake everybody up, but Daryl. Wake everybody, the group up first.
But Daryl.
What, Daryl?
But Daryl.
What's a
Butt
butt
Daryl?
Daryl?
You don't even want to know what a butt Daryl
Real
is.
children.
You only get those on your 30th birthday.
Exactly. I got plenty of them. In addition to a couple butt Steves.
The all but Steves.
They're all attached to a chain.
Oh,
I'll let you
Uh-oh.
figure out what that means.
Uh-oh.
that sounds like a 30th birthday party. All right, everybody's woken up except Daryl.
Yeah, so Ben has been awoken by Faradir and is kind of in that initial moment of like, but eventually he gets up and realizes it's time and sees Daryl still asleep and doesn't question that. He just ignores him. And he is going to go do his daily diligence. Whether that's going to the bathroom or giving offerings to Gazra is up for interpretation.
Isn't it the same thing?
I was going to say, ¿Por qué no los dos?
Honestly, it can be, you
This is
know?
for you, Gazra.
Martin Luther once said,
If you are doing real things to Gazra, Bertrand might join in for a moment. He's not as devout, but he would maybe say a prayer or two and as he's waking up.
He looks at Bertrand and is just like, after I finish my daily constitution, would you mind joining me in praying to Gazra?
I wouldn't mind at all. It'd be nice.
He goes to the spot where supposedly Daryl goes to the bathroom on a regular basis.
It's just I don't even. Never mind. Not do that. Let's not
trench.
explore that one.
Yeah, it's a hole in the ground.
I
Cover it
think
up, moves it around every couple of days.
Faradir might have been doing a little bit of detect magic at that time too. Would that have changed anything?
Oh, you might have woken him up.
Oh, I see.
So
Is that some noise?
yeah, I think detect magic has some verbal components attached to it.
Oh,
so-
okay.
That makes sense.
Okay.
Well, I
Where's
think-
the magic?
He'd probably do it now that everyone's awake. I mean,
I'm sensing magic.
I'm sensing magic specifically from the hole over there.
I guess he would probably do it now. While if they're praying or something, he's not really worried about waking him up.
Are you doing it? I guess too late. I was going to say, are you doing it subtly? Because we could have been in a conversation.
Hmm.
Yeah, how are you doing it? Like, while everybody's kind of off doing their own thing, you waiting for a moment while you're alone to kind of.
I don't think he would
magic?
try to hide it. I think he'd just be like looking around and poof, let out a pulse. You know, I mean, I think people would know what it does. You know,
Not
he's just
everybody.
curious.
So, so how would that manifest then?
I think it would just be like he would close his eyes for a moment, mutter some arcane words, and then like a magical pulse poofs out, just boom, you know, in all directions, and you can probably just barely feel it, and that is his burst of detect magic. So it's just probably just like a little bit of, almost like wind, you know, like an energy feel.
Gotcha.
It's farts from last night.
Just passing away.
Casting gust of wind at a first level while he sleeps.
All right, so you let loose that burst.
Auto heightened by beans.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so you guys can kind of imagine yourselves where you want to be while this is happening, but I'm imagining Faradir's, you know, within 30 feet of Daryl, right, to sense if anything on him's giving off magic, right? That's
Or
kind of,
in the general area.
okay. And yeah, nothing is giving off magic. You don't sense anything. There's no pulls in any direction. You, however, do see Daryl kind of turn and he kind of grunts. Ugh. You guys smell that? He kind of rubs his eyes away. He's like, "Oh, what was that?" He kind of rolls over and gets up on his elbow and sees at least Faradir there.
That was you.
Oh, no, that smells like beans.
Not the gaslighting. First thing
Literally,
in the morning.
literally gaslighting.
I'll just sniff the air, kind of close my notebook, and stand up and walk out towards the cliff.
There he's at. That was
I don't know why that Sif just going out towards the cliff after this happens is killing me. It's just like, if it doesn't go away, I guess I gotta jump.
You'd think with no doors it would have aired out by now.
No, I would have known if it was me. It's got to be those ghosts. He kind of starts to get up and dusts himself up and stands up. Says, "Oh, everybody's awake. I was hoping to make breakfast for you all."
There's nothing preventing you from doing that. I mean, we're still here.
Yeah, excellent. I've got this skillet here, and he cracks it open, and it's been smoldering in the fire the whole time, like an iron pot skillet, and you guys are just suddenly surrounded by this wonderful smell of seafood. And inside the pot, if you're anywhere within eye line of it, you can see crab and smell fish, and there's like bits of shrimp in it. And
What does it look like?
It looks a little like this.
Oh shit!
Wow, you just happen to have the same thing. That's wild.
he pours you guys a bowl of some crab and shrimp bisque.
Breakfast
think-
of champs, right there.
I think we call it the Ordwee bisque.
Yeah.
Sister Bisque.
Mr. Fisk.
I got a picture coming to the HSV food chat after this.
I genuinely thought that when you showed us that bowl earlier, I thought you were kidding and that you just made yourself a bowl of soup to eat. But it turns out that it is indeed a prop.
Again, por que no los dos?
I'll warm it up later. But it's delicious. You guys, if you guys sit down and have a bowl of it, it's very filling, a little salty. It might even compare to anything that Sif has had, or Bertrand back in Osprey Cove, being a fishing commune. But there's a very distinct flavor amidst this. It's very pungent, and
Ghost farts.
Daryl says, if you're wondering, that's not it's not cow's milk. That's goat's milk. Adds a little heft to the bisque, if I do say so myself. You can thank Elsie for helping me out with some of these ingredients. She's a very kind woman, if not a little crass at times, but
Nice.
she's nice.
Well, I didn't get the the impression that she'd be helpful to you.
Not
Or much of anyone sometimes.
I think she.
Yeah,
feels
she wanted
bad.
to charge us like 5 silver to sleep on a floor.
That's absurd.
Exactly. That's why we came to hang out with you again. Well, not only we wanted to see you again.
Well, I do appreciate the company, as I mentioned before. What are your plans for the day?
Well,
I hope I'm not prying. I'm just.
no, we're not sure yet.
It's a good
We make it
question.
up as we go along.
Exactly.
Oh, me too. Not much to do though here on Gold's Road, but kick rocks and play with Steves.
Sometimes that's all a man needs is his Steves and some rocks or twigs.
Right.
You guys
That
are all
old saying.
sitting around this campfire,
That's all you get.
drinking
Just like-
soup.
Yep.
Uh-huh.
Well, big gulps, huh?
The time for the Midwestern Wilt slaps legs and gets up and starts to leave.
Yeah, exactly.
I'll just finish the rest of my soup and. Okay. It's a little hotter than expected.
Grenadier's like blowing on it.
Ben has a little bit of like wind magic going over the bowl to cool it off quicker, and he's just like, I don't understand why it's taking you all so long.
I think I just kind of like very quickly glower. Like everyone has technique, and I'm just like, why? I'm in haste.
Yeah. Shit. I think we'd after breakfast we might try to I think while we're here we can on our way over to the cliffs we can stop by the docks, check out what those people there from the Swordfish have to say.
Go get insulted.
Exactly. See, I'm sure we can out insult them.
You could. I don't know if I could.
No, I know deep down inside there's something. We'll talk about it on the way over. We'll come up with some good insults that you
I
can
have
throw
a-
at a human.
Particular skill set for that.
I
Yes,
can throw them
see.
into the sea, but that's about all I have.
There and I'll come up with some good ones for you.
I'll try to deliver them with the same.
Just like teach him yo mama jokes on the way over there. Whatever the equivalent is. But yeah, I mean, I think that Bertrand would think that is a good jumping off point. I don't think we can get out to the Isle yet, to Thunderhead Isle. So try and check out the people on the way, and then head over to Stoneholm and climb up the cliffs and figure out what old Jim Pop was on about with all them goats and rams up there on the hill.
That's a good impression.
Practicing all week. No,
Alright.
I can't get that guy out of my head.
And everybody else is
Thought Daryl was good.
everybody's kind of going along with this. Swing by the Swordfish.
Yeah, I think he just kind of throws that out as an idea. And if anybody else has any amendments to that plan, a better one, or anything, I'm open. Kind of
Let's
just
ride.
checking it out.
What is that?
Are they horses? You want to ride a goat? You could ride a goat. I might be the only healthy goat around.
Remember, they don't have many land animals here. They only have giant crabs, as we established back in Osprey Cove.
Yes.
If I know the walk over here is hard for you, Faradir, so if you need a piggyback ride,
Oh gosh.
I can assist.
I feel like he's intrigued but embarrassed.
Please, I'd like to see this. You said he's only like 43, right? Like he's not that old.
That's the fun bit.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
I don't know. I might have to like edit his age a little bit, but
No, it's all good.
maybe 63. I don't know.
He could be 43. It's all good. It makes it funnier.
I think it also makes people underestimate him.
Yeah, it's a bit like you said last time. Almost.
All right, so you
Been
guys.
trying to-
Oh, what's up?
I was gonna say I've been trying to think of a Yo Mama joke this entire time,
Oh,
and
dude.
the closest one I have that would be applicable for this is Yo Mama so fat. Whenever she sits down, Gosra thinks it's a new storm.
Ha, there you go.
That's all I got.
pretty good. Pretty good. I like throwing in Gaza.
Just be the rude Frenchman from Monty Python and the Holy Grail.
Yes, I will gladly be the rude Frenchman from Monty Python and the Holy Grail.
I definitely have Bon Mo. I've been having the whole "your mother smells of elderberries" in my back.
Oh, there you go. That's a yeah.
Yeah. And your father was a hamster.
Yeah. I fart in your general direction.
All right.
And we already
so
know Faradir will do that.
That's true.
Continue
I do
to
know.
reference. You guys continue to reference a movie in another world. As you,
Well, I mean, we
make
have
your way
Stonehenge
to-
too, so
Make
Yeah.
your way to the
And
Swordfish
Australia.
on the dock there. Takes you guys a little less than an hour to make that walk happen, and you're back in town. People are kind of bustling around. Top of the morning. Elsie's is in full swing with the smell of breakfast and pastries. But you guys walk on past. This lonely, long dock leads to this large trireme, which is a 3-sailed boat, I learned.
Good intel.
It is about 75 feet long, so it's a long boat. A big, long boat.
a long ass boat.
And you can tell walking up that this is a most formidable vessel. It's crafted from dark-stained oak, reinforced with iron bands, 3 masts that bear large sails of a deep green, embroidered with a motif of a swordfish. You imagine symbolizing its agility and sharpness. Features 2 tiers of bronze-tipped oars and a striking bronze ram at the bow, sculpted in the form of a swordfish's bill, enhancing both its speed and defensive capabilities. There are a few people on top, on deck, fishing over the side of the boat, paying none of you any heed. They might catch you in the peripheral, and then kind of just shake their head, and then turn to a side, and then continue fishing in a different direction.
Must everyone in this town be such a rude little?
Yeah.
Hmm?
Out of character, does this boat have like stats?
Maybe.
So we can sink it.
I don't think we're
Pulls out
gonna
a-
steal it, but I just
Pulls out a
like
gun. Wow.
yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Fen casts the ultimate Gosrin spell, gun.
Gun. Part of Dylan wants to just yell, "Oh, fucko!" and just start right off the bat with this, but I don't think we'll get anywhere. So
I wanted to push him off the boat.
yeah,
Time
It's
for
like the-
Fen to cast a certain spell. No, he's not going to do that. It would not go well for anyone involved.
Gun.
Just backs away slowly to avoid joining the murder hobos.
no, I don't want to kill anyone. I just want to give them the same level of respect they're giving us.
Wouldn't kill them. It just might potentially push them into the sea.
How many of them are there? Like just like a handful, like 4 or 5.
You catch sight of 3.
Okay. Just like shout out, "Hi, mate!" I got a question if you don't mind.
Fuck
Your
off,
boat's-
you rube.
Bitch.
You seafood stinking locals. Get away from the ship.
You're the
Once
one
you grab your
fishing,
hands on it.
bitch. You're literally fishing right now for seafood.
You see a guy
That's the
kinda
worst insult I've ever heard.
He peers over, he says, and gives you the finger. Fuck off.
Can I mage hand push him off the boat? I mean, telekinetic hand push him off the boat.
What do you want?
Where are you from? Why are you here?
Who is Gamora?
Who is your daddy and what does he do?
Where are the other drugs going?
Listen, as we told you all before, stop bothering us.
You didn't tell us shit, mate. We just
We're not
got in
even from
yesterday.
here.
What do you mean? You're not from Iron Harbor?
No.
Dipshit.
Listen. Where are you from then?
I'm from Epsilon, mate.
What the fuck are you doing here in this shithole? Kind of looks around.
I could ask you the same thing, couldn't I?
Kind of shakes his head. God damn it.
Got you on a technicality.
Sif tries to join in based off all the your mama jokes, and just kind of he just kind of lifts his lips, snarls, and it's like, "We're from your mama's house."
He kind of scrunches his face. He's like, "What the fuck is a no doing here?" He says, "Hey, Leonard, get the captain. Some weirdos on dock." This is.
I just lean into Bertram. Was that good?
You did great, mate. They get the captain. It's exactly what we wanted. Proud of you.
This guy starts reeling in his line. He kind of looks at you guys quizzically. And then he kind of hears something from behind him and he steps away. And then you can kind of sense the air change. You imagine somebody is now on deck, maybe of authority, as this woman kind of peers over.
Oh, damn. That was one hell of a fucking hat.
That is a very thick hat.
It is.
Oh.
She leans over and says, I need to think of other names than Steve.
That was named Leonard, I think you said, right?
Stephanie.
God damn it. Yeah, his Ashley and Leonard tell me that you aren't from Iron Harbor. You hail from Absalom, all four of you.
I'm from Epsilon. He's from Magma. He's from Sandpoint. And then this one is from Osprey Cove, not from Iron Harbor. Not one of us are from here. I think I got that right? Everybody? Okay.
Yeah.
She seems intrigued at the mention of anywhere but here, really. And she says, one moment. Ashley, Leonard, give them the ladder. And then she steps away. And then after a couple of seconds, the two guys that were fishing on this side of the boat lower down a ladder for you guys to climb up on.
Cool.
Like a rope ladder?
No, it's like a wooden fold-out ladder. They kind of huck it over, and as they huck it, it kind of unfolds and comes down to the dock and lands with a thud.
That would have been really embarrassing to go up a rope ladder for Faradir. It just would not have been great for everyone to see.
A little fancy, but it works fairly well. And as you guys clamber on board, they give it a flick of their wrists, and it kind of folds up and in on itself, and you see that it's got some interesting clockwork mechanisms as you walk across it, and it
that's
folds
cool.
in on itself, and then they tuck it away underneath the gunnel on the side of the ship there. They step away and kind of you see that there's at least 4 other folks, so 6 total crew with this woman here that are on deck with you all. They are dressed in looks like navy attire, uniforms.
Whoa.
Represent Zinadasseril. So it's strange to see them in some kind of uniform when you had heard that this was supposed to be a merchant vessel.
Mm-hmm.
But she approaches you, Bertrand, as you were the one to pipe up first, and she says, "Why are you here in Iron Harbor? If you hail from anywhere outside of this archipelago."
Well, long story short, I washed up in Osprey Cove a while back. I've been trying to get out of there for quite a while, but I haven't had the coin to secure passage out of there. So I've been trying to make my way out, and as I've stayed in Osprey Cove, somebody from this town appeared there. There's no contact between the two towns, so we've come here to figure out why that man showed up. These my companions here happen to be there the same night as I, and we're the most curious and capable folk. So we've traveled here to Iron Harbor to investigate.
What about the rest of you?
Did I not cover that?
Well, I suppose you did, but I want to hear it from each of you. And she kind of she walks up, kind of like squares up with each of you and looks you up and down. You get the sense that she's looking for a reaction, and she's kind of what's the word? Sizing each of you up to see if you may even be worth any more of her respect. And
she like pumps at us like she's trying to make us flinch. Like
she'll go over to Sif next and kind of just look you up and down. What's your story?
I look down at her.
I was raised there, but the man in question died there. Something from him, we suspect. I'm Sif, but we didn't catch your name.
I'm First Mate Janice.
Thank you for having us on board, First Mate Janice.
She kind of squints when you thank her.
Knew she had a J name. Just knew it in my soul.
And then she'll step over to Fairdeer next. Squares up, kind of does that little heel thing. Her heels click together and she stands in front of you, looks you up and down. You came with him?
No, I came with him.
And just kind of nods.
She looks over to Fen and nods also. Old man here in Iron Harbor from Sandpoint? What business do you have here in Iron Harbor, old man?
Well, I'm actually from Magnamar.
Oh, I'm sorry. I must be confusing the two of you.
He's from Sandpoint.
Yes.
That seems to be a running MO for the evening.
Get on with your answer. What are you doing here in Iron Harbor?
Somewhat of a real estate engagement.
Elaborate.
I have a friend who's interested in a property here.
I find that hard to believe. Who's your friend?
Yo, mama.
Yeah.
My friend's name is Caleb.
Come. I can tell you're being not exactly forthwith. There's no need to look.
Well, I am being paid.
Are you being paid for secrecy?
Professionalism.
Well, I'm asking for professional honesty then, from a representative as in Adasro. To you. old man.
Would I know what that means? Would Faradir know what that means?
Yes, Zinadasril is the somewhat new emergent kingdom of the Thessalonians that have been kind of plaguing this region and making claims of land again and taxing Iron Harbor and Osprey Cove that you had been hearing about between Elder Ordley, Bertrand, and Sif.
Maybe just think it's been a good tourist location. He kind of slyly smile, because it's a bullshit answer. Obviously, it's not a good tourist location.
Not at all. She says, fine. And you, from Sandpoint.
Yes, I am from Sandpoint, and I was hired to be protection for this old man.
It seems he would need it, wouldn't he?
Yes, well, with age comes wisdom as well as frailer bones.
Well, what's your story? Desperate for coin? Is that why you joined this old man on his venture to scope out real estate in this shithole collection of islands on this archipelago?
In fairness to me, anywhere that is not of natural order is going to be a shithole. I essentially am here on order of my order, my religious order, in order to be a guardian to this man here. And yes, in a sense, we do need the coin. Modern society calls for modern solutions, as they say.
We have answered your questions. Now, why are you here?
She kinda
Yeah.
yeah. She steps back and she looks at all of you from left to right. And says, "I'm here for your mama."
God damn it. God damn it.
Well,
No,
Got me.
She steps back. She looks at all of you and she says, "Well, I'm here on a mission to escort a nobleman from Zinadasril. We're supposed to leave a few days ago, but here we are, stuck. Gods damn it. Captain left with him. Now they haven't returned. So ordered here to stay with some of this crew to watch the boat and wait for their return, but it's been too long. However, hold on, I'm still talking, old man."
God, she's so rude. It's like the one insult though. It's like, you're old. You just keep saying you're old.
It's because I'm terrible at role playing.
No, you're not. You're great. You gave us Steve and Jim Pipe.
it's true.
I can
And
play
Daryl.
stupid fun characters, but serious, intimidating characters is a different story. Maybe. She says, well, before she continues, I'd like for Sif, Bertrand, and Fen to roll diplomacy, and for Faradir to roll deception check. If you guys can click that in the chat there, please.
It's a blind roll, correct?
Yes,
Like
please.
at least one token.
You should need a token to roll that.
I think I
It
did the right
says-
one.
Must select token.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, can you select the party token?
That's what I did.
because
Does that work?
Diplomacy. Oh, great. Let me try the chat now. Why do I always have technical difficulties?
Let's see. I
that
can
is the name of the game.
deposit your
can't-
tokens. How's that?
Aha!
Better?
Hey, now that's working. Okay. Private blind GM roll. With a big +0. This is gonna go great, guys.
Same.
I've got a good plus, so I'll save y'all. Don't worry.
I am meant to do, I am not meant to chat.
I meant to stab.
Faradir's all about talking.
All right. Awesome. So, she kind of just says, well, it seems we may need some help. We've been here for too long. We can't leave the boat. And you all seem agile enough for me to make this request.
Agile. Interesting choice of words.
It's quite interesting.
My acrobatics is only 2.
Well, I'd like to hear your proposition.
Please, head to Stoneholm and find out what's happened to my captain. Here.
How long has he been there?
This is a log that I found from the captain himself.
Cool.
And she procures from
Wooden log.
underneath her armor.
From her hat.
That's why your hat's so big.
Exactly, it's full of
From
secrets.
under her
Yeah.
hat. Let's see. Is this it?
Cool.
Nope.
The
that's not
captain's log.
You guys see anything there or no?
I see
No.
a handout, but there's nothing in it.
The
It's
secret
a
ingredient.
white void.
Yes, there are no there's no pages.
It's written in invisible ink.
Who's got lemons?
I was gonna say you have to piss on it. I don't know why that's the first thing that came to my brain, but there it is.
I was thinking of National Treasure, where they
That's
squirt
my
lemons
favorite
on.
movie.
Dude, I like that movie.
Cats.
My
Confession.
my oldest son, his first 2 names are from my first 2 movies. Connor from Boondock Saints and Riley from National Treasure.
Nice.
There it is.
Oh, hey,
Confession, I've never seen that movie.
Should check it out. I don't know how well it holds
You'd
up.
watch
but
both.
Okay, let me check
yeah,
it out.
definitely. Cool.
You guys see it now, or no?
Excerpts.
There
Yeah.
she is. Yeah.
Excerpts from the Swordfish's log.
Yes. Does somebody want to read that? Well, she'd hand it to Bertrand as you've been kind of like the talking force for the party right now.
Yeah, would you like me to read it?
Yes, please.
Or the
I-
podcast listeners.
Perfect. Yeah, I'm not going to do a voice for this. All right. This is excerpts from the Swordfish's log. Winds brisk, skies clear. Lord Maitramar paid passage for himself, his entourage, including a quiet but unnerving sin spawn, in a large wooden case he declared as containing an, quote, exotic pet for a colleague stationed at an outpost on Thesca Isle. Next entry. Wind brisk, overcast skies. Lord Maitramar approached me with an adjustment and promised a bonus upon return to Zinadasral. We are no longer bound for Thesca, but the south coast of Chekakoth to the squatter village of Iron Harbor. Next entry. Yeah, they fucking don't like this place, do they? Well, I guess they think that they own the land, so shit. Next entry. Winds brisk, rain. Lord Maitramar's entourage has been disrupting morale. Elitist attitudes, disrespect for the ship and crew. Looking forward to being rid of him. Next day, winds calm, overcast skies. Put crew to work on oars, but made good progress. Next day, winds brisk, rain. Next day, winds brisk, rain. Deckhand Thelson reported seeing Lord Maitramar's Sinspawn minion opening and closing a slat on the crate in the hold an hour before sunrise. Suspecting smuggling, I entered the hold to investigate. Movable slat in the side of the crate could be used to stash goods, but upon opening it, I spied within a strange beast, some sort of lanky, six-legged wolf with a plant-like stalk growing from its body. The beast was sleeping, and there was no signs within the crate of smuggled goods. Disciplined Thelson for rumor mongering. Next day, winds brisk, rain. Arrived at sunset, still strange to see the old spires in such a rusted state. Lord Maitramar met with the Iron Harbor's commander, then left with his entourage to the large stone structure at the edge of the village. Commanded the crew to remain on board and not mix with local rabble. Which is why they all fucking hated us for no reason. Another day at Harbor. A few hours before dawn, several of Lord Maitremar's people returned without him and loaded the exotic pet crate onto a cart and hauled it off around the peninsula toward Thunderhead Isle. Final straw. This mystery needs to end, and we need to head home. Tomorrow morning, I shall debark and pay a visit to Stoneholm and demand a swift leave. Final log entry. Soon a whole new world will begin. I'm so close to being able to finally complete my grandfather's work. I've double-checked the preparations in the summoning chamber, and we should have enough food and water for the week-long ritual. As much as I would like to have had my fellow believers with me, I need them to ensure all aspects of the ritual go as planned. Without the added power siphoned from the Vloric spires or the chaotic divine energy gathered by Ragnulf's bumbling hands, this ritual might not work, but I must have faith. With the fresh blood of decay and the horn of rust finally in hand, Tsar Azmak, Sin of Steel, shall rise again, and he shall reward me for being the agent of his resurrection. Sounds like two different people wrote that. Was I not supposed to read that?
No, you were.
Okay. Since it was on the second page and under handout too, I wasn't sure. Whoa.
Yeah, so that was part of the log entry that she handed you. She says, I don't understand what any of it means.
Dang.
Does any of that make sense to you?
No, the first part does. I mean, makes quite a bit of sense that he'd be frustrated. Never heard of such a creature as this, but the second half I'd have feared of the group. Does any of this can you make heads or tails of any of this?
Yeah, have we heard of Zal Azmak?
No.
This name. Does that name ring a bell to us at all?
You guys can attempt to roll recall knowledges. Make sure those are secret.
What do you,
I'm gonna throw a society. Society.
It looks like it's the same handwriting, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Let's see. No, the final log entry does not look like it's the same.
Interesting.
Could I roll either religion or occultism for that check?
Yes. Either or.
Okay, great.
occultism is very good for me. I would like to do that as well. My skills aren't popping up.
If you go to...
Do you have your character sheet open?
I can't open it. I guess if I directly click it, I can.
Yeah, if you go into the characters tab or actors tab and open up your sheet from there.
I think we're just spoiled with the heads-up display.
Yeah, that's also true.
Yeah. I can click on my skill, but it just pops up a thing. It doesn't give me an option to roll.
Click on the die, the little die. If you hover over that, does it like...
Son of a bitch. Yeah.
It's all good.
Live by the die and die by the die.
I'm more likely to die by the die at this point.
Let me refresh this picture.
No, it's all good. I know it's... I was so used to Roll20, and then the first time we did this, I was like, it's way better, but I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, I know how to use Roll20, but
I was a little upset. I was thinking, Roll20's been around for a while. What the hell were my friends doing not telling me that it existed? Was it some joke everybody knew about Roll20 but me? That's how I felt when I found it.
That's weird.
I mean,
So I
everybody's
felt-
gonna know soon with it going over to Discord.
Yeah, that'll be interesting too.
I'm looking forward to that being buggy as hell.
All right, so with all of your recall knowledge checks, let's take a break.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, so we're gonna actually take a little halfway through break just to give us a little bit of respite
Break.
here. So, break. I do words good sometimes. So we'll be back in just a few minutes here. Thanks, everybody.
Thanks.
Maybe that's why I was suggesting pissing on the letter earlier, because I have to pee.
No, we're still unmuted, but we will be.
Oh, I mean, it's not.
All right, we're back from our first bio break ever. And we're all refreshed and ready to jump back in. So we hope you all are too. Thank you for waiting. We appreciate the patience and the whatever ad Twitch decided to throw at you. So I'm gonna jump back in. Probably got about a half hour left of this as we continue forward with the group on top of the Thessalonian ship known as the Swordfish being interrogated by the first mate Janice on dock in Iron Harbor. So let's jump back over to the map and continue. All right, so Janice is talking to you all. She handed Bertrand a journal with some very significant notes about a creature in a crate and a very interesting final log entry by someone who wasn't the captain. So she said that she doesn't understand any of it and is hoping you guys might have some insight, and if not, to go retrieve their captain from Stoneholm. And she seems kind of desperate because her last orders were to stay on board with the rest of the crew here until they returned. They have not. So she's kind of looking at you all hopeful, determined that you are their only way back to Zinadasseril without a mutiny or them having to lie to their authorities about what's transpired here. What do you all do? What do you say?
Did all knowledge checks unveil
yes,
anything?
sorry. Your knowledge checks about the words of Tsar. What was it? Tsar. The what?
Can you
It
bring
sounded
that
like a
back up for us?
medication.
Yeah. Big Farm has infiltrated Paizo. Can you pop
Well,
that journal entry back up for us
I sure can.
with a handout? I don't know where to find that after I accidentally closed it.
Faradir's knowledge check is specifically pertaining to the name. Somebody said something about their grandparents. Whoever wrote that, that's the person I'm doing my recall knowledge towards.
Okay.
For particular reasons.
That's right. Sif, you did occultism. Fen, you did religion. Fairdeer, you did society. And
Bertrand doesn't have shit. Sailing
Bertrand
lore.
is just
Roll
gonna
a big pharma check for me. Sure.
Sif is just gonna sit there and look pretty.
Yeah, no, I have nothing. Sailing lore.
All right, so I'll give you guys some info based on your checks. So Fen, the styling of that name of Tsar Azmak, like in the back of your head, you just feel this twinge of reference to demons. Like I can't put my finger on it, but that sounds like it has something to do with demons.
The demons that you see after you take too many Lexapro.
Zara's Mach. I can't put my name on it, but
Bless you.
Horn of Rust and Zara's Mach. Why do I think of demons when I hear that name? You can't put it to detail, but that's what you are kind of coming up with that role.
Noted.
Fairdeer, with your society role based on your inkling and focus on whose ever grandfather's work that may be. This being a ship from Zinadasseril, you think that if there was any relation to anybody from the ancient kingdom of Thassalon, that they would have may have been alive before the downfall. And whoever left this last entry possibly had relation to them. And for Sif, your occultism check. What was you were looking? Were you looking for anything specific, or tell me a little bit what you were kind of seeking with that roll?
I mean, specifically, I think I was trying to understand, is this six-legged beast that was mentioned, is that a sin spawn?
Okay.
Yeah, yeah, just trying to understand that, and like, what is a sin spawn, really? And I guess why would somebody have that?
Perfect. So, with your role, you're able to remember in all the studies that you had gone through in the very, even small library that Elder, shoot, what was your elder's name? I can't remember. Regardless. Oh, Vandross, that's right.
Vandross.
Vandross, that's right.
Luther.
Elder Vandross's very small library, you're able to recall reading about Sinspawn. And you know that Sinspawn are these, not exactly demonic creatures, but they are manifestations of one of the seven sins. And depending on the sin that they are summoned from, they have like very particular abilities and features that represent the sin that they are made from as flesh. They're sentient abominations of distilled ectoplasm, imprinted with the soul image of creatures that are slain in the name of or for that sin. Whether it's envy, gluttony, greed, lust, pride, sloth, or wrath. There are sin spawn based on each. You can't think of anything out of the type of sin spawn that would relate to the description that is left here by the captain.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, just knowing that these are aberrant creatures, anything could happen, especially with whatever ritual they may be trying to perform.
Okay. I think I do think learning that, I'm going to I think it's investigative lead. So anything further around this ritual or the sin spawn, essentially any of this demonic force, I'm gonna put my concentration on and give myself a bonus to rolls going forward.
Cool. Investigative lead.
I believe it's called investigative lead. Yes.
Nice.
I, as a player, remember this from, I think, Rise of the Rune Lords, but Bertrand doesn't know shit.
So, I have an idea. Faradir has a special ability called Ancestral Memories that would allow him to take a non-lore skill or a lore specific to an ancient empire of which your bloodline sprang. Well, Faradir is Varisian. Varisian bloodlines go back. So he wants to use his focus spell to cast this spell. Right? Boom.
Okay.
I cast that spell. Where's my... how do I put this on myself? Imperial Blood Magic. But I want to take to temporarily take the skill Thessalonian Lore. And because I casted a focus spell, I get my Imperial Blood Magic gives me a +1 to do so.
Mm-hmm.
So if it's equal to a society check, which it would be kind of similar, right?
Sure, yeah.
I could roll a society check, but we could call this Thessalonian lore check.
Sure, go for it.
And right. And I will do private. So I imagine this takes some time with Faradir doing the Doctor Strange 40 billion moments thing. But it's basically
takes a minute, so yeah.
He's taking some time speaking with his ancestors and trying to pick their brain and use their knowledge.
So within this span of time, she's kind of looking at you guys as you're kind of contemplating everything that's being shared now. And Janice, she kind of looks at Verder, and you've got this long stare, kind of just into the distance for this whole minute. However this manifests in your mind, you can describe what that looks like later, but she's like, is your friend okay?
Don't mind him. He just does that occasionally. War flashbacks and all that.
Yes.
1,000-yard stare. I understand. I have had to retire some people from my crew previously.
At least it wasn't an old joke.
Exactly. Old people are like that.
Old people are like
Also a true statement.
So, she's like, is this something you think you all can help with? I would be more than happy to reward you, of course.
I can't speak for the group, but I'm certainly interested in figuring this out.
We have interest in Stoneholm as well, so I think it's maybe possible for us to be mutually beneficial for one another.
Exactly.
She nods and she says,
We
any
planning-
news, good
We
or
were planning
bad?"
to go in anyway, so it's a win-win. What was your captain's name?
That's a great question.
It wouldn't happen to be Ragnolf, would it?
No. Ragnolf is the lord here. My captain's name is... Let me find it.
I was gonna
I
say it
know
was
this
not
feeling
in
all
here
too well.
anywhere.
Why are you looking for that? Did we, with what we figured out, did we kind of discuss that while Faradir is kind of channeling his ancestors? Or did we kind of each keep that information to ourselves
Oh, that's up to you guys. So you have
for
at
this
least
moment?
a minute, maybe,
I-
before Faradir comes out of this reverie.
What info? I'm sorry.
The info that we
Everything
got.
you guys, yeah.
Yeah. I don't know that Fen would be super comfortable with just being like, it's demons. So I think he's gonna keep that to himself for now.
Okay. Well, yeah, I think Sif would wait on sharing, but I think you guys would see that upon, like, obviously, like, he came to a conclusion, but I think you see him, like, a bright, like there's more intrigue now. Like, he's brightened to a point that I don't think you've seen him this interested in something before.
Cool.
It is
We'll
Captain
file that away.
Captain Perios, and she says that he took 2 of his crew to join that entourage that the nobleman brought.
Dare we ask what their names are?
Lord Matrimar.
Matrimar. What's his first name? I can never remember the shit, like, right when I'm during gameplay for whatever reason. Just never fucking remember. You read this shit from, like, cover to cover. God damn it. Okay, I'll find it in a moment, but I'll just go back to Faradir, and you come out of your reverie, and with your roll, Thessalonian, the name Matrimar, it does ring a bell. say in your avatar state, you spoke to one of your many ancestors that had some off relation with a Thessalonian civilian who had dealings with a matrimar, and I'll give you that this matrimar also had some. Was rumored to have some relations in. How do I say this without giving too much away? Was rumored to be a worshipper of demons. So you come out of that reverie with that little tidbit of knowledge. As everybody's kind of conversing about, their findings within this journal.
Ben?
Ben is not doing that. But now Faraday, maybe he might.
Demons!
Ben,
Demons!
can I speak with you for a moment?
Yes, of course.
I've done some thinking, and that name sort of rings a bell.
Yes, it did for me too, unfortunately.
Not a good bell.
Not a great bell at all. No.
The demon bell.
Yes, I saved that bell for a very specific occasion on my escort duties. But we won't go into that further. Anyway,
That's the succubus lover subscriber.
exactly. Yeah. You gotta pay good money for that shit. That's Ben is just like, yes, unfortunately, I think you're right. I think that name is a demon, or possibly a demon lord of some sort.
The name came through with ties of demonic worship.
This is why I wish people would just worship Gazra instead of having to go through all this. But yes, this Zar Azma character, it does not bode
Bless
well.
you.
Oh, thank you. I need to refill my prescription for it as well. But yes, I do believe you're right. This is of demonic nature, and I don't think that our friend needs to know that information. It would cause nothing but panic.
And then I imagine Faraday is a really good liar. Stands up straight with like the most casual looking face, like nothing's going on. All good here.
While they're having their aside, if you guys are done, I would like to do something. I don't want to interrupt if you're still.
Nope.
Got it. I think that Bertrand would point to Sinspawn on the sheet, knowing that Sif has done a lot of reading and is interested in a lot of that kind of stuff. Just say, Sinspawn, should we question Deccan Thelson if he's still here for description of what that might be? Or even you, first mate, Janice. What was her name? Janice,
yeah.
Yeah, first mate. Would a description of this creature be? Do you know what this is, Sif? Is it something we need to investigate further here with the crew?
It mentioned a six-legged wolf.
Well, I thought the Sinspawn was opening the crate that held the wolf. I understood it to be two different things.
I think it's one and the same. Let's
I do see right here. Winds brisk, rain. Decian Thelson reported seeing Lord Matrimar's Sinspawn minion opening and closing a slat on the crate. Suspecting smuggling, I entered the hold to investigate, and the slat held the beast in the crate. I don't know. I thought it was two different things. And then he disciplined Thelson. I don't know.
It's possible. Yeah, I'll look over Janice. Is this deckhand here, or is it one of the crew that your captain took to Stoneholm?
Unfortunately, Telson was one of the crew that he took to Stoneholm.
Oh, it is Telson.
Now, I do have some things I've discovered since we began worrying about our captain's return. I've taken a strong interest in Stoneholm, and I've been studying it from here with my spyglass. I wouldn't... It sounds like you all were heading to Stoneholm anyways. Yes?
That is correct.
It is
Maybe.
a very well-defended structure. The walls are spiked, but every sunrise and sunset there seems to be a guard posted at the edge of town is changed. I crept up to the guard who stood watch at the edge of town, and I took their key.
Shit.
I know, I went against the captain's orders, but it's been a very tough situation we've found ourselves in. I haven't had a chance to put the key to use. I'm not even sure where the key's meant to go, to be honest. But here, take it.
Bertrand will take that key. Thank you. I'm sure this will prove to be most useful.
I can only imagine that it is a key to the front gate, the entryway to their courtyard. I really can't see much else beyond that large wall, unfortunately.
And of the island, do you know what way they got that crate out there?
She says, they took a boat. Just a small boat. There was a couple of folks from from Maitre Mar's entourage, and they had a large crate with them as well. The crate that I think that Sinspawn was in, or held, or was working with. I'm not entirely sure. This whole thing has been a mess. I'm very confused.
So we have one party in Stoneholm and another out on the Isle. Is that why we keep seeing the fires out there?
I assume so, yes. I think this is correct. Maitre Mar didn't tell us any of his plans, of course. He just told us that he had plans to meet with Ragnolf and had an agreement for trade based on some things there between him and Zinadasrul. Comes from a noble line, apparently.
Well, not quite so noble if they're treating you like this.
She shrugs and she says, I honestly, I'm just worried for the captain and the rest of the crew.
I agree. We are also concerned for a friend who may be in a similar situation as what your captain is.
I do have one more question before we take our leave. It appears your official navy, you've got quite a uniform. I was just curious if you were hired by the government to escort him, this nobleman, or I see he's paid passage clearly here, but are you a government operated ship, or you just have nice uniforms?
Yes and no. He was able to pull some strings, to say the least. He's got deep pockets.
Good connections, it seems.
She nods. I don't know any details, but if you're able to find the captain alive and well, I'm sure he'd be able to have more answers to this mystery. As far as I was told, this was just some sort of trade agreement, an attempt between Zinadasseril and here.
Well, I guess now might be a good time to add. I'm a barrister. So, I kind of have some experience in that. That's the whole reason I'm here with the manors for legal purposes.
She just nods and says, okay, that has nothing to do with my request, but if there's anything you can do, we would appreciate it, and I'd love nothing more than to leave, but I can't leave without knowing what's happened to our captain. And as for you being a barrister, she shrugs and says, do you know anything of Zinadasseril laws?
No, but I know a thing or two about trade agreements.
Well, that's a good place to start. Perhaps you can talk to Lord Ragnolf himself at Stoneholm then.
Nice.
So, yeah, I was gonna say, I think we know where our next destination is.
Yeah.
She says, yeah,
Through the home of stone.
okay, goodbye. And she kicks you guys out.
Thank you very much, first mate. You've been quite helpful. If you
nods.
need anything, you'll know where to find us. Send somebody in to Stonehelm.
She says,
on.
she laughs and says, absolutely not. I think we're going to leave if we don't hear or see any sign of our captain or you all after 10 day. So good luck.
10 days
Yeah, I guess a 10 day. Not
from
10
today?
Not actually 10 days, but you know.
Okay. It's like,
week-
that's a
week from
long
now.
timer, but if there is a timer on it, we would need to know.
A week, she'll say.
All right. If we're not back in 5 days, just wait longer. Perfect.
I don't think I will wait longer than that.
No, it's a bad joke. All right. We go down that cool ass ladder.
All right, they flip it
Unless-
down for you guys again, and
Yeah.
you guys make your way off down the dock. Put you guys back into this party token, all fancy like. If I can fucking click on it. Oh, can't. So let me try over here on this screen. Get back in the party token. Cuckoo. Haha, I did it. Okay. All right. You guys are heading to Stoneholm? Anything else you want to do beforehand?
Oof.
Or what's your approach? What are you guys doing? What are you guys talking about? You guys are on the dock, kind of left alone? There's no locals nearby?
I don't know. Now I'm nervous.
Well, I think if there's nowhere nearby, you know, we kind of huddle up, but we're still moving. And I kind of look and say,
So, dude, we were all sort of quiet after we saw that entry. Did those names ring any bells? Are you familiar with any of this?
Well, now that we are away from them, Faradir and I came to a realization about the name that sounds like a medication on that form, on that log. Zar Amzak, or whatever the hell his name is, Amtrak. And
Hazmac.
exactly, Big Mac. I believe we are dealing with demons.
That makes sense. The sin spawn itself is also a demon, though I can't quite piece together well, as I was discussing with Bertrand, I don't know if it's separate from the six-legged wolf or if it's the same creature. But regardless of the description, I don't know what sin it would be associated with.
I will say I read the first entry again, and it insinuates that the sin spawn is a member of the entourage, and that the crate holding the wolf is separate. So I do think they are separate entities.
Also, did mention something about the sin of steel.
Rusthenge.
Sin of Steel.
Would I have an idea, Robert, on with that kind of realization of what the sin of steel would reflect, especially with my particular knowledge?
Not exactly. Because you're only aware of like the seven sins, right? And between the ancient Thessalonians and the ancient Aslanti, a lot of them in the Rune Lords had used sin magic specifically to spawn soldiers of war to further their own gains. But again, with them being aberrant creatures, if anything in terms of like a ritual or summoning were to be changed and manipulated, it could, this could be a new creature based off of a specific sin. Like there could be any numerous things that this creature could be based on, especially with, the idea of having sin spawn and demons involved. Who knows what this is?
Sin of steel sounds very specific, and potentially even to the point the only group I can imagine saying such a thing or labeling steel as a sin would be an order of druids, but I can't imagine that we're dealing with druids and demons.
That I agree. It sounds unlikely. Regardless of what it is, if we're dealing with a demon, well, that danger might be above our pay grade, though I can't hide an interest in it. This has me very intrigued.
When we were in there, I was able to meditate and speak with an ancestor, and not only do they remember this name with demons, but demon worship.
Now you
This
You guys know a lot.
This lord? Is that
Matron,
who you're referring to, the Maitramar? Or...
The grandfather.
Should we perhaps scout up the cliffs? I mean, she gave us the key, but there's no way we're walking in unannounced.
Yeah.
Did she ever establish what the key was for? I don't believe she knew.
No, she merely took it from a guard. Could be for anything. It could be for the guard's footlocker.
It's for the outhouse.
Exactly.
I'm
We'll
not
give
sure
it
we
to
want to
Daryl.
go unannounced.
I agree. I think subterfuge would be the best course of action, but who knows? Again, this key could go to anything or multiple things, frankly.
That's true.
I agree, the hills are our best option.
The hills is a good place to have eyes.
I was
And
waiting
be
for
alive. And be alive with the sound of music.
Yes, that is where I can finally start my singing career. In the hills, amongst the sheep.
And the goats.
And the goats. There are many goats. And the occasional crab.
Jim Pipe's a record producer.
So you guys are heading to the hills behind Stonehome. Is that what the plan is?
Yeah, I think.
Yeah.
You take a bit more of a alternate approach to this place here.
Yeah, at least take a scout out there.
Okay.
Scout out.
Yeah.
All right,
I think as we're... Oh,
go ahead.
sorry.
No,
I was just going to say, as I think Sif would suggest, as we're going that way, that, we scout out a little, we widen it and essentially go up to where we believe Jim Pipe was talking about the goats. That way we have a sort of an alibi if we get caught, and it doesn't just look like we're going up the cliff face to peek in on Stoneholm.
Sure, yeah. I'll just say during that conversation with Jipai, he as drunk as he was able to kind of like give you an idea of where his trail was and where his favorite rams and goats were, to kind of listen in and watch, and he maybe even described this hill here. Oops, sorry. This hill here. To watch the Gormites kind of duel and practice on the roof of Stoneholm. So you guys take the time and get up there. It probably takes you almost 2.5 hours to make it up there, so we'll say it's approaching noon by the time you get to the hill to get a good eye line of the facilities in and around Stoneholm. It is, as far as you can tell, the courtyards and the surrounding areas of the building are bare. There's no activity from what you can see. The entire building is constructed from masonry with layers of dried clay for weatherproofing. Grooves run along nearly the entire width of the flat roof for water. You do see that there's an archery range on the top, next to a small sparring area. You assume it's kind of lined out with just markings of little stones. But there are, let's see, archery targets and sparring dummies, kind of just chilling on the roof there. You do see that there's a ladder also that leads down to a second floor balcony on the north side of the building. However, you do notice that there is three severed heads that have been mounted on wooden poles affixed to the northern edge of the roof, that you wouldn't have seen if you didn't make it to this hill to the west.
Sus.
But that
Very
is very unusual. Even
Are
for
they
followers of Gorm?
are they facing the hill? Or are they facing town? Can we get a sense of who are they meant to display for?
It looks like it's a little too far away to tell. You guys are too far away to tell what direction these heads are sitting and facing. But you can clearly see that these are spikes with heads on them facing in any given direction. They are decayed, they are grayed as far as you can tell, but it looks like these heads were lobbed off or chopped off from as close as to the shoulder as possible. So neck and head balding, but grayed and maybe even rotten, because you can't tell what color their skin was. So it's not a pretty sight, to say the least. There's three of them affixed to the spikes on the roof of this training area on top of Stoneholm. And I'll call it there as you guys kind of take that in for whatever that's worth. And I'll say thank you all for watching and listening.
Thank you.
Until next time, ladies and gents. This was Whispers of Doom. And don't forget to live by the die.
Live by the die and die by the die. Got it.
I was ready, and I still messed it up.
That's all right. We got it pretty close. So I'm actually going to take a moment to try and find somebody else to raid, if there is.
Ooh, cool.
I don't know who I can raid right now.
If not, I have suggestions.
Oh, I see somebody from HSV. I'm just going to raid them immediately. We're going to Rosebud Garden.
Ooh.
Sweet
Let's
lady
do
who
it.
plays lots of Fortnite. So everybody prepare yourselves for a raid.
Bet.
Say hello.
I don't know what this means.
We're gonna
I-
jump on their stream
I have just
automatically.
learned as well. Ready to raid in 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I'm stopping the recording and ending our go live.
Bye.
Bye.
I think. I don't know if I did that right.
Yeah, you did.